Hey, g'day and welcome back to another episode of Kepler. In the last episode, we just started to set up our farm. We were able to get some chickens and get some goats and some pigs. We've had a little bit of breeding. You can see our chickens are sort of breeding away there. The goats haven't done anything except for eat the food. Matter of fact, they've all eaten the food. And the pigs, we've got an extra pig there. So we have done a little bit of breeding. We want to find ourselves, so in this episode, we want to find ourselves some cattle, as well as also just finish securing our base. As we said before, it doesn't actually secure the base. They will still spawn inside, but what it does stop is it stops things from outside rushing in. We will use the opportunity to quickly just make a couple of doors. Plus, we also now want to start getting in and getting some better weapons. That will just, allow us to just be a little bit more secure. So we're just going to get some sand because it's easy just to make some sand doors. It's soft. Now you'll find once you're under 20%, I think it is, you slow down. What you need to be careful with is then if something starts to attack you, everything slows down. So as you're firing a bow, it slows down. So we'll come back in here. Make ourselves some of those doors that we're talking about. There you go, 3 doors, should be more than enough. We do not have any food at all. Our berry bushes and that are growing, but just not enough. So it looks like we may need to grab some food from here. Once again, you just push. Find yourself what you want, push it to a side. I would also recommend punching rather than chopping. And that's just because I find that if I chop, I end up breaking fences and everything. It just gets crazy out there. Those chickens should grow. But we do need a little bit of food, so we're going to throw that on there. At the same time, we're going to start making our other things that we require. Let's eat that. Up to 24, so we do need to find some food. We're back on the speed again. We'll throw all the things we do not need into our trusty little box there, and let's head out. So a couple of things we did find. We found coal, which is excellent for stocking the things like the kiln and the stove. So we got the coal from downstairs. We don't need the dirt at the moment. We've got plenty of this and wood, which is good for our weapons. We might make a spare bow now, just while we're right, and we will make some more arrows before we head out, and then let's go for a bit of a walk. Alrighty, so we got the cow, we got a little bit of food. He does look a little bit stunned at the moment, but I'm sure he will recover. These eggs will turn into little baby chickens, so we're just going to let them hatch. And let's build our next thing. So the next thing we want to build is, we can build a furnace. We can also build a stove. So let's build our stove. Bang, let's build our furnace. A stone. Another chest. We can get this going. So let's drop our stove. Sorry, not our stove, our furnace first. So we're dropping our furnace. No particular order, we can drop it there. Then we're going to bring out our stove. Our stove can go there. We got a spare door. Might as well throw it down. The other one I'd recommend is just do these things at night. Because you're not going anywhere at night. It's 6 PM now, so we're probably going to not travel too much anyway. I'd recommend doing your cooking and all your maintenance just whilst you're indoors. In the early stages, I find that if you head out and you roam in the middle of the night, it's just too easy to die and too frustrating. It's a little bit of coal in there. Then we're going to drop, haven't got it yet, we'll find our copper. Here's our copper. We've got a nice collection of copper, and we found a heap of copper down south, didn't we? Just in the last places we were. Now with the stove takes 3 ingredients. 3 ingredients being 2 pieces of fruit, or a piece of fruit and an egg, plus your meat. Or 3 ingredients, so it could be a cherry, an apple. Now, it hasn't appeared that you get higher food content from the different ingredients. What I mean is, if I do an apple, an egg, and a piece of meat, I think the output of the food is still the same. As I said, 2 of those has given me 50%, so that's got me almost up to 100% there, which is a nice area for us to be. The cow still looks a little bit stunned, but I'm sure it will recover. We do have a little bit more grass. We're just going to throw them in the chickens, since the chickens seem to be the ones breeding the most. I'm sure that cow will recover when we go off screen. That tends to be the thing too. So you go off screen, you come back, and then they sort of move around. We're going to use this opportunity to do some chopping in relative safety. And let's replant. I haven't seen it drop multiple acorns or anything like that. It does appear that you get 1 tree, 1 acorn. It's tends to be the rule of thumb at the moment. We might as well chop these until our axe has run out. It's going to be very soon. Yeah, like that. Axe, stone, there we go, there's our axe. So what we should have now is our kiln should have done smelted our copper. Yes, it has. It's got us 24 pieces of copper there. So we need to look at the next piece of equipment that we want to have. What we do need is to have an anvil, and that should, I believe, take 10 pieces. Now we've got 2 opportunities here. Is we can keep on searching until we find an anvil in an abandoned house, but that may take some time. So because we do have 24 pieces of copper, we've done quite well with the copper. I'm going to create the anvil. Would have been nice to find one. If you find one, pick it up. Easiest way is just go punch it, make it smaller, and then carry it back. But there's our anvil. With our anvil, right-clicking on the anvil, it allows us to get swords, spears, daggers, a bow, but the bow not being your basic bow, but using metal. For this one here, we're going to actually make a spear. I found them actually quite handy just for a ranging. You've also got your armor. Now, your armor itself is going to take a certain amount of metal plus some wool, and the wool you actually get from the goats. So let's do the spear to start off with. That's using a large chunk of resources, but I'm happy with that at the moment. So we'll throw that in there. It's 11 p.m. It's dark. Yeah, the chickens are still breeding. They're still eating. Let's head downstairs, get some more materials. We're healthy. We're fed. These bushes should start producing soon. I'm going to use this opportunity just to plant some more. Okay, welcome back. As you can see, we got into a little bit of trouble downstairs, but we're back up now, and we're fine. So the berry bushes are just starting to come into fruit, as well as the apple as well. So that's good, and we're planting a few more, but it does mean that we're starting to get a bit of a food supply there, which is handy. They'll just keep on producing food. We'll throw those in there. We will throw some meat here. And we're missing an apple. Okay, we'll hold off on that for the time being. We'll save this piece of wool. Well, we don't. We can actually use it now. So we've got some copper here. With the anvil, we can probably do some gloves or some shoes. No, we need a few more pieces of copper. The other thing that I would certainly recommending as well is an early build is a shovel. Shovel itself needs metal, or needs 6 metal and wood, but what the shovel allows you to do is it allows you to dig down. So dig further layers down, but it also allows you to dig up. So in the unlikely, or in the event that you run into a bit of trouble downstairs, it is a bit of a get out opportunity. You can actually just dig straight up, which may have come in handy in the situation I just was in. So the chickens will keep on breeding. We will get ourselves, it's daytime. Let's do a little bit of exploring. So, kill a little friend over here, unfortunately. Was the cow doing anything? I can't remember. Did it move? The cow has moved. Alright, that's a positive bit. Start off with, I'd suggest you just do cardinal points. So head out north, south, east, west, and just look for the things that you want to look for. In this case here, I do not see these breed. If I, let's say, bring this down to 2 pigs, if I come back in a couple of days' time, from what I've seen, it's still 2 pigs. But we're going to head out here. We're going to be looking for copper and also other things to explore and take as we head out. If you remember back in episode 1, I talked about the biome that we'd spawned in. Probably not the best biome, as you can sort of see here with the greens and the forest. Spawning in a forest biome, I think, is just a better starting point. You don't have to sort of travel everywhere to get your wood and your berries to start off with. So don't hesitate to restart your game if you start in a non-desirable area. So look at this lovely little house. Doesn't it look like a bit of a... so we can open the door. Take these. We've got chickens out here as well. And we can take almost anything we want out of here. So by going into a bit of a punching mode, what you can do is you can punch the tables and so forth. So you've got a table at home. So there we go. So we've done that. I do see a collection of chickens here, so we'll grab the chickens. We got another house. All right, there we go. That was a good find. The other one is with your moving as well. You don't need to actually stay where your starting point is. I mean, yes, you've got the hole in the ground, but as soon as you've... Oh, he's clearly not happy that I've... Yeah, all right, he's a bit grumpy that I've... Perhaps it was his house and I've just stolen all his furniture. Sorry about that. Workbench, a bed. If we want a nice bed, we can just punch that. There you go, got ourselves a bench, a bed. Okay, welcome back. So we didn't actually make it back to our base during the night, but I thought I'd actually just point in something as well. So as we were coming back, then the dogs start to come in and so forth, and it's, you know what, as I said, early game, it's just not worth, you know, I've died more often than I've sort of survived. So if you found yourself a house like here, go park yourself in there for a night. If you haven't found yourself a house, don't hesitate to do a little bit of a fortnight trick and just build a wall around yourself. Just build a wall around yourself and stay there. If you've got yourself a shovel, which we will have by next episode, then dig yourself down and do some mining. There's certainly things you can do at night. You don't just have to sit there and stare at the dark. We're just going to have a little bit of food while we're waiting. And get us in there. But we are going to hold it up there for episode 2. Thank you very much. We're going to make our way back. We're then going to start finishing our building of equipment. So we'll build sort of our stone picks, certainly our shovel, our copper shovel, as soon as we can. And then we'll start exploring. We'll go look for an enemy base in episode 3 and see what we can get. All right, so thank you very much. Don't forget to hit the likes and hit the subscribe if you'd like to see more of Kepler or any of the other episodes that I'm doing. So thank you very much. Happy gaming, and we'll see you in the next episode.